What's going on, guys? I want to give you guys a little bit of a training video here on how and when and how to just overall insight on what you guys can do, on how you guys can capitalize and make more money when it comes to trading, whether you trade big cap, mega cap, small cap, crypto, forex, commodities, futures. It doesn't really matter. Technical analysis is technical analysis. And over at Evolution Traders, which is my website, which is my Discord, which is my coaching program, we show you guys how to do that. So with that being said, Tesla has been a very, very strong stock. If you guys do watch my videos, you guys know that I trade Tesla on a weekly basis, in and out, in and out, in and out, whether that be long or short. I am not a bull or a bear. I'm just a realist and opportunist, someone who wants to make money and put a little food on my table so I can eat, right? We all need to eat, right? We don't need to sit here and be so stressed out, guys. Once you have a strategy and once you implement good risk management, once you start having confidence and you build up your account a little bit, it's very, very easy, I'm going to say that, to see the levels. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I win every single trade because I just simply do not. I'm only about a 62% winning trader at that, which means that I'm losing 4 or 5 trades out of 10. The thing is that my wins are a lot bigger than my losses, and that's the whole name of the game. You don't want to get emotional once you get into a trade. I know so many traders who, they come in, they do their homework, and tell me if in the comments if this is you. You look at the charts, you got a good, you got a good read on it. You come in, you're long biased, you're ready to take that trade. It doesn't do what you want to do. You buy the trade anyways. It starts to go in your direction, quickly traps you, starts working against you, and now you're stuck. Now you're trapped, and now you don't want to change your directional bias because you did so much homework and you spent so much time looking at these charts and you had a game plan. But guess what, guys? Game plans are meant to fail. And being a good coach is like being a good trader, right? How many times, just because you send a football team out on the field, if they're not properly coached, you are going to lose by a better coach every single time. So what does that mean to you as a trader? If you are not a well-versed and adaptable trader, you're going to get eaten up and spit out. This game is very, very brutal. It does not take lightly to egos and emotions and bias, right? We can have a bias, but we need to be able to flip at a drop of a hat. Okay, if you want to be a day trader and you want to be a scalper or even a short-term swing trader, you got to be able to go with the trend. You got to be able to change your mind. You got to be able to leave the emotions at the door. So let's show you guys how we can bounce a stock, right? That's been strong. Tesla's been strong. We currently have levels. We know that yesterday's highs was here, right? So if I was to draw a trend line here and I look at this level, 221 was yesterday's highs. That's what we're looking at. We already know that right off the bell here in the pre-market. We're really not doing anything. And immediately once the bell rings, we start to come down. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was some traders who shorted, which I did, right? I did short, but I made money very, very quickly because I understood where potentially the stock can stop. Now, I'm not a genius. I am no smarter than the next person. I will be the first to raise my hand and admit it. I didn't go, 25 years to college and get some doctorate in how to read these charts, but I just have enough experience and I've taken thousands and thousands of trades that have kind of, created this hard wall around me to like kind of, cut out the BS, right? Like I don't really care. I kind of understand what's going to happen and I try to react to what's going to happen and when it happens, right? So you could see here this short position that I took. I was looking for the 215 breakdown. Now, once the market started to really expand here, we had a little bit of a Bollinger Band sitting in the 214s. Once we started to break that and we broke below the pre-market levels here, I did take a scalp. I was also already predetermining that I was going to take profits quickly. Why? Because we are coming into demand. Now, this is a difference between an experienced trader and someone who's not experienced. Someone who's not experienced is going to look at the market like this. They're going to say, well, Tesla's very, very high. Okay. Tesla's overextended. We're due for a pullback. We just lost pre-market lows. The market is flushing. we're going to continue. Now they're $1 in the money. They're $1.50 in the money. This actually came down to 212.56. My entry point was around 214.90s, 214.80s, right? So they're coming down. They're in the money $1. They're in the money $1.30, $1.50, and they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting, and they want more. They want to squeeze all the water out of that rock as they can do. So as it starts to come down, they have no idea, because they don't trade the evolution trader's way. They have no idea that they're sitting on an hourly 50-day moving average on the hour time frame, right? So all you're doing is you're waiting. Next thing you know, that it starts to bounce. Okay, and now you're holding the position, and now your position is break even, and then it starts to go against you, and now you're like, well, we're going down, right? Tesla's, now you start convincing yourself that Tesla is overbought, right? So what do you start to do? You start to look at the RSI. You start to go to social media and see what are other people doing, right? You start to get all this crazy outside influence that means nothing, and then you start to convince yourself that it's coming down. Next thing you know, you're looking at the stock rip in the opposite direction, almost 10 points. Okay. And then you're down on the day, and while everyone else was making money, you lost. Okay. How many times has that happened? I'm not saying that it happened today on this Tesla trade, but what I'm saying is that has happened. And I've spoken to many, many traders that has had that happen to them. And what we want to do is reset. We want to clear those old thoughts out, right? And we want to, get with the new times. So what we're looking at here is, if we are going to be an aggressive scalper, because I'll admit, I'll be the first person to admit that I do tend to get a little aggressive with my trades. But once we do get into the short position and we do start to make money, 50 cents, $1, $1.25, $1.30, $1.40, and it's happening fast, and you're taking size and you're coming into a level of demand, you got to cut it, right? Who cares if it goes down another $5? There's going to be another entry. That's the way you got to look at it. If we were to close below this 50 EMA or 50 SMA, and we were to get below 211, there's a lot of room down. There was room down to 206. So there would have provided another entry on the hourly time frame. Okay, so I don't need to sit here and hope that it comes down. I know that it's coming down here more than likely 60-70% of the time to the next area of demand. Stocks are going to trade from demand to demand to demand to demand, and then go supply to supply to supply. It's not hard. It's like in preschool, you want to color in between the lines. And if things start to go outside the lines is when you got to give the trade the axe, right? Because not every kindergartner can paint in color in between the lines, but we got to do our best job, right? So that's how I want you guys to look at it. Look at it like that, okay? So as we come down in here, what we do now is we see the bounce start to come at 7 a.m. We want to wait, right? And we do have a hard stop loss here. Now, again, if you're aggressive, you could see the reversal, and you can take the previous hour's low wick, and you can tell yourself, well, if we were to confirm that low wick, I'm going to get out. If not, I'm going to ride that. Essentially, you would have caught the absolute bottom of the day on Tesla, which would have been a phenomenal trade. But again, not everyone is a phenomenal trader, and not everyone can read the market in real time like that. So let's talk to more normal people like myself, right? We don't always catch these moves. We are not all heroes. We're not all rock stars. So what I'm looking for here is I want to see the reversal. I want to see this hold. I want to see us get back above supply. What did I just mention about 2 minutes ago? We're going to go from supply to supply, demand to demand. So once we start to clean up levels of supply, we're going to go to the next level of supply. So this cleans up this level of supply, the 5, 10, and 20-day moving average on a 1 hour time frame. This becomes your entry. You have an entry over 217.75. That's exactly when I got in. I got in actually at 218 because I like those whole dollar numbers a lot better. There's a lot more movement and liquidity through those levels. So through 218, what am I looking for? Again, I just mentioned it. If we break supply, we're going to the next level of supply. So the next level of supply was from 217.80s all the way up here to 219.5, right? So I got in at 218. I sold for $1 up. I sold before we hit supply because I didn't want to risk chancing it. And then I waited. And what are we waiting for? We're waiting for the next break. And when we get that next break, you can see the next break over that previous level of supply is 220.80s. I took one more scalp in the later half of the day here. Once we broke in that last hour candle, you can see we get that break over that 220.80s, and we come up to a price of around 222 almost, right? So I took another $1. So I took a total of around $3 on 10 contracts each time. That's sufficient enough for me. That's how you can start to play the bounces on some of these stronger names. You want to wait for them to come down into some levels of support. You want to see if they hold. You want to see, do they hold the day's low? And then you want to get in once we start confirming those levels of supply. Again, if this is a little bit tricky and it seems like, some alien outer space talk, Join evolutiontraders.com. Get with me. We can work together for 30 days. I can outline this. I've got 2 video courses over like 7-8 hours of courses and video guides that you guys can study, outlining my strategy in detail, how I'm looking at the markets, how I'm finding the stocks, what is important to me, what's not important to me. And also it's going to give you access to all of the Discord, where you can see the watch list, you can trade with other traders, you can trade with myself, you can ask questions, you can start to dissect the market in real time. It's very, very good, well money spent on education. The first things that anyone needs to invest in is themselves first, right? Health and mental health is first. Physical and mental health is first. Next is going to be education, and then after that is going to be risk management. The strategies come very, very easy. I'll see you guys all in the next one.